Afternoon. This is Veterans Talk. It ain't nothing but a thing, but it's a thing we want you to tune into every Saturday afternoon. I'm Elson McGee, your host, and I'm here with my partner in crime, my brother in Christ.
Yes.
Tony, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. And you?
I had to say that because, we've been causing a lot of stuff that I had lately, and everybody might think we on the other side, but we're still men of God, first of all.
Yes.
And we are here doing his duty. We're talking about and trying to make sense out of a sensitive situation called the plight of veterans in the USA, and the USA with the plight of veterans. This is hard to understand. In a nation that got so much, we got people, over 250,000 veterans homeless in this country.
Yeah.
And then we still got 17 to 22 committing suicide every day. And they don't see it as a crisis situation, except in the families of those that's
in the immediate family.
In the immediate family. And we got to make sure that we doing the calling of the hearts of the people that we represent, the 240 plus that were killed in Vietnam, to make the ultimate sacrifice for the freedoms that we have in this country every day. Make no mistake about it, the freedoms didn't come free. We are in a predicament right now, though, where we got some shysters, and we call them like it is, shysters that's trying to causing so much chaos that they think that they're gonna take over the government in this country, and if they can convince us not to vote, and that's the only way they can stop us, Tony. If they can convince us not to vote, or get on one of these third-party candidates and waste our vote. Now, this ain't no time for us to waste a vote. We can't afford to waste it because, sadly to say, we got more Americans that's going down the path of sabotage in this country than I thought would ever do that, Tony.
Yeah.
I'm shocked at the number of Americans that's willing to support a candidate, which happened to just be an ex-president. Mm-hmm. I can't say billionaire because we don't really know whether he got no money or not, Tony. I saw the stock, how he manipulated the stock market just recently.
Yep.
One day they reported him as just coming out of this amazing thing where he done made over $4 billion. And the next day, we heard that all that was gone away. It's like hocus pocus, this is what we got. And we can say that the problem is not just with him.
Oh, no.
It's with a large continuity of people that's already stationed in our government. Mm-hmm. That's not doing what the Constitution called for them to do. Congress. Now, this is sad. They got a Congress, especially the House of Representatives, that's wasting taxpayers' dollars on a witch hunt for Biden. That want to just find dirt on Biden. If it's dirt, it's gonna show up. They done wasted millions of tax dollars and they ain't find nothing. Just keep coming up with blank things.
Part of that, according to my understanding, is a distraction.
Yeah.
They are aware of the person they have running for president of the Republican Party is creating so much chaos and told so many lies or stretched the truth that they need to distract everybody from his tactics for how he wants to run the government and change the country.
Change the country.
We have a constitutional government that operates in this country, but he wants to change that.
Yeah.
And so what they're trying to do is create as much distraction as they can until hopefully, and meaning for them, hopefully, he is reelected. And that's the sad part about it is the effort and the monies, not just but the monies that are being spent to present him as a presidential candidate for that party.
Billions of dollars are being changed around, Tony, because some of it is not going for campaigning. They're just trying to keep him out of jail.
Yes.
Listen, I'm an ex-offender, so I know how the laws work. Unfortunately, that was part of what I had to go through after Vietnam. Coming home as the returning wounded of my generation, we had no understanding of PTSD. My wounds were shrapnel wounds, so they weren't real serious physical wounds, but I had a severe mental wound. And being 21 years old, coming back from Vietnam, wounded, and the country in chaos. I'm coming through Fort Lewis, Washington. They trying to sneak us around in the back. I'm trying to figure out how come we going out the back. I'm looking for a ticket to take a parade. I done survived hell, so I'm looking for, and I got people spitting on me.
Yes.
It created a mentality, and people don't understand yet that PTSD is a bad behavior disorder.
Mm-hmm.
That's plain and simple. I had to go through it and understand it and see it and able to learn how to manage it with treatment. We got to be able to understand that military service requires such a sacrifice from young people that they don't know about. And unfortunately, we still are not getting the military to tell the whole truth to the family of the returnees.
Mm-hmm.
If they put as much, and you say this all the time, Tony, if they put as much into preparing us for the military, preparing us to get out of the military, we would have a better plight as veterans in this country. And the families, a lot of people don't see the families suffering when their loved one has got a mental illness that's so pervasive that they become homeless, or they commit suicide.
Mm-hmm.
This is somebody that they knew went into the military in good physical and mental form. Mm-hmm. And then coming back home, they completely different person.
One of the things that we realized in looking back at it is that we were evaluated before we went into the military. Mm-hmm. And if we were considered damaged goods, we weren't accepted into the military.
Weren't going to be accepted.
That was it.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, when we had finished our service honorably, some of us were returning as damaged goods as a result of the war.
Listen, I confess.
Yes.
And then the ugly part about it, Tony, I didn't want to accept it.
Yes.
I didn't know how to accept it because I went in with this pride and the expectation of myself and my family that I was going to come back a better person, a more mature person, And when I got home, the next day, well, my mama had to hear that fighting and screaming in my sleep before she wanted to know, what's wrong with you, son? Why are you screaming and hollering in your sleep like that? I don't know. I don't remember.
Yep.
And now she's saying something wrong with you. This is my mama.
Yeah.
But she was telling me the truth.
Yes.
And she didn't know what was wrong, but she knows something was different.
Exactly.
And it wasn't positive, Tony.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It was not positive.
Yep.
Because it was, uncharacteristic, first of all. And it was probably scary to her because she had me holler and crying in my sleep, and I'm not asleep. I'm on the floor, low crawling, Tony.
Yep.
So this is, multiply this with the 3 million people that served in Vietnam. Mm-hmm. It was tragic because what we have earned is the fastest dying generation ever of veterans because of PTSD, suicides, and Agent Orange exposure, which causes all kind of stuff in our bodies, cancers. And but now, Tony, what I'm saying this to get to this point. For the first time in the history of the VA, under the Biden administration, they have expanded benefits beyond my expectation. Mm-hmm. And this is why I've been saying this for the last few, and I'm talking to you now. Because, see, you was in the Air Force.
Yep.
And who brought the stuff to Vietnam? You know, I'm gonna say,
Yes.
you know, I mean, and you didn't have to directly touch it. You might have been on a plane that was and didn't know it.
Exactly. Yes.
But you know this though. You've been diagnosed with prostate cancer, and thank God you overcame it.
Yep.
But now it needs to be recognized, Tony.
Yes.
You know, see, all of them, you was looking at the military bases there in the meeting,
Yep.
and I was good. I wanted to say something there to you then, but I was glad I wanted you to see that.
Yep.
Because I want all of my brothers and sisters to reevaluate their claims.
Yeah.
You know, look at their claims. Because these benefits, Tony, was not just meant for you. They was meant for you, your family, and the community.
Yes.
And if you get them, it benefit you, your family, and the community. And see, I guess I had this American dream. I was going to the military, you know, earn the benefits and go to law school and, you know, become a successful lawyer. And they had no idea that being wounded and traumatized was going to change not only my life, but my directions, you know, because I was no longer in charge of my destiny at that point.
Yeah.
And the country that promised me, if I'm wounded, you know, if I'm hurt during this service, they would take care of me and my family. Well, Tony, I tell you, man, it took me 16 calendar years to get recognized as that. You know? And it ain't funny because I became a revenge warrior somewhat, because after I got mine, after finishing law school, that's all I want to do was fight the VA for veteran benefits.
Yeah.
Because I recognized that if they did me like that with the record that I have, my record is, I can lay it out in front of you. My stuff is in the records. It wasn't like it wasn't in the records.
Yes.
They looked at me and said, "Well, you dressed pretty good, boy. You suffered a little anxiety at the end of your military and Vietnam stuff, but you look all right now. You good." They didn't even talk to my mom. You know,
Yeah,
they didn't even ask, well, how does he act when he's at home? How, you know, he dresses nice. He's taking care of stuff, isn't he? My mom said, no, and not that I can tell you. This is not the same child I sent to y'all.
Exactly.
Y'all need to examine this and see what went wrong.
Yeah.
Because I know he's not a bad person, you know, but he's doing bad, stupid stuff now. You know, he doing stuff that make him not open up to his family, which I'm my only son. I used to tell people I had 5 mamas because I had 4 sisters that always dot me. My oldest sister called me this morning. How you doing? She started praying, you know, started thanking God for me. I said, Lord, listen, they've always been there. My family has always been there, but the stuff that we experience sometime in the military, we don't share it with them, Tony.
Exactly.
We can't talk to them. So the military got to come up with a way to inform these families when these young folks coming back out of the military, and equip the family. Because see, they couldn't have equipped me because I wasn't there.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? But I had an influence if they had been equipped. My mom and my dad, my family, if they had been equipped, I wouldn't have spent 20 years in prison.
Right. Yep.
Which destroyed my children's life. You know, I didn't get no benefits from them, for them. You know, and then sometime I talk to my youngest daughter, who's my baby still, she's 60 years old, but she's still my baby. You know, and she said, Dad, you know what I miss most about growing up? She said, when I used to visit you in prison, they used to call the end of the visit. I didn't want to leave you.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't understand the impact that non-care for veterans is causing their families and the community. I just, you know, in the last 25 years, I have been working in the community, Tony, and I don't think I made amends for the loss that I could have been to the community, but faithfully, you know, meeting you and some other brothers like Greg Fan. You know, that's my brother, that's my preacher, man, that's my friend, who believed in me. you know, who was
Yeah.
encouraging to me, who made sure that, listen, you've been to seminary, you in the pulpit.
Yeah.
He didn't think about it, and he knew I was just coming out of prison. He didn't, you know, he knew the power of God could do anything, and he was there to make sure